no financial exposure to the three crypto firms filing for bankruptcy. That post sent shares higher. Joining us with more on these developments, we've got Yahoo Finance's senior reporter, David Hollerith. David, there's a lot to follow in the crypto space. Obviously, a lot of people saying, well, have we seen the bottom already?
Yeah, Kiko, I don't have a crystal ball, but I can sort of speak to Coinbase's announcement sort of as a great example of what's going on right now. In the blog post, they sort of summed up some of the financial collapse we've seen it specifically to crypto. And they have also acknowledged that while they had no exposure to three areas, capital or the other bankrupt firms, they did make a small minority investment in Terraform Labs, the creator of Terra, back in early 2021. Now, this seemed like a non-material amount of money, but it does add to the point that crypto firms right now are desperate to sort of shore up investor confidence in their products. And one way to do this, which was touched on extensively yesterday at a crypto-focused conference that Bloomberg put on, was to sort of show more transparency. And that's exactly what they're doing, and that's exactly what's needed for any of these firms if they want to outlast the bear market.
David, now you mentioned Mike Novogratz again. He was deep on the Terraform Labs project, which was, of course, that Luna token. That's something that we've heard him talk about before on a bullish stance. He got that tattoo on his arm. But what are you hearing in terms of what he said yesterday? Is he bringing any humility to what we've seen in the crypto markets year to date?
Yeah. Now, Brian, yeah, he did. He acknowledged very indefinitely the amount of leverage in the system in the crypto markets, which has been a major focus for why these firms have gone so far over their skis, was something he was not aware of. And just the level of investments in between these firms is still staggering, and we're not seeing the end of that of how interconnected these companies were. And the bankrupt firms are even facing a number of financial issues that could be related to fraud upon further investigation. But Novogratz, was very clear in stating that if the cryptocurrency industry wants to move forward, it essentially needs more investor disclosures, things that look a lot more like the traditional financial system, which is interesting. And, something that was sort of echoed by all the speakers I heard was the need for regulation.
Yeah, I mean, that echo, I should say, growing louder and louder in light of what has played out over the last few months. David Hollerith, thanks so much for bringing that to us. Brian, I should say, David was just talking about the comments coming from Mike Novogratz. He says he's going to keep the Luna tattoo as a constant reminder that venture investing requires humility. I mean, that is a big tattoo.
Yeah, well, for what it's worth,
is he going to stick to it?
It's a cool tattoo, like a wolf howling. You just have to change the name Luna, Or you could tell people, this is my pet wolf, and her name is Luna.
People are going to remember that one.
That's how I would pass it off, at least.
Yeah. We'd love to have you back on. Maybe we'll ask you about the tattoo.